I'm Jeff Wright, and welcome to the Blame to Fame podcast. As an entrepreneur, I have not only built an extremely successful business from scratch, but also employed thousands of men and women and helped them on their path to financial freedom. One of the most common themes for me and everyone else who has succeeded is that we never blame anyone and are aware that our success or failures fall solely on our shoulders. It was not until I hit rock bottom that I realized that only I alone could change my future. And on my podcast, you're going to hear the stories of successful folks who have gone from blame to fame in their own lives. I look forward to sharing my journey and great guests that will educate you about their path to success. Please join me each week on the Blame to Fame podcast. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Blame to Fame. This is going to be a quickie. Today, I had a bunch of people on a Zoom call today, and we were discussing some sales ideas, some sales tactics and whatnot. We're always doing that because I firmly believe that every person on earth is in sales in one way or another. And it occurred to me that when there's no question that whenever you buy anything, an emotion is triggered. That's no secret. People buy on emotions in one way or another. So if we know that we're buying things on emotion, then why is it that salespeople try to take emotion out of the picture when that's exactly what they should be doing, is selling to their emotions? And sometimes in asking people questions to find out where their hot buttons are with their emotions. Because a lot of times, without asking questions, you're never going to know. And by asking questions too, you're going to help a client or a prospect discover a problem that he or she may not have. And a great example that I witnessed the other day, I was at the gym, and there's this new personal trainer there, and this guy looks like a short version of Mr. T. He is just the package, little short guy, big neck, mohawk. His name's Paul, just the funniest guy ever. And so this gentleman walks in. I'm going to say the guy's probably 40 years old. He's a little overweight. And he's standing around waiting for Paul to give him the complimentary tour and talk to him about some personal training. And right behind the machines where we were working is this glass room where there was a bunch of young ladies in yoga pants doing Zumba or some class like that. So the guy he wasn't really paying attention to anything other than looking at all these hard bodies inside of there doing Zumba. So the trainer walks up to him and introduces himself and starts asking him questions. Well, it was pretty obvious he didn't really have this guy's attention because the guy was still looking over into the Zumba room, looking at all these women. So finally, Paul, it didn't take him long. Paul realized, he says, "Hey, let me ask you something. How's your love life? Are you dating girls like that? I don't see a wedding band on. Are you single, or are you dating chicks that look like this in the Zumba room?" The guy says, No, I wish I were. And Paul puts his hand on the guy's shoulder, puts his hands on his shoulders, looks at him and says, "You make the commitment to yourself and you do what I tell you to do. In 4 months, you won't be dating girls like that. You'll be dating girls that look better than that." The guy ran to the car to get his credit card, ran to his car. Paul asked questions to find out why he was there. He found out where the trigger was. And as soon as he found out where the trigger was, he put the emotion to it. He got a client. He got a sale. People don't buy anything unless they have a problem. Even if you go to a restaurant, you have a problem, you're hungry, or you want company, or you want something. Nobody just goes into a restaurant and eat just for the hell of it, or I hope not. But anytime you buy something, you got a problem, and that problem or need needs to get solved. And so in asking the right questions to what your client wants, it helps them discover the problem, and sometimes, again, makes them aware. Because at the end of the day, when you buy anything, you're not buying a product, you're not buying a service, you are buying a solution. Okay. We sell millions of dollars of life insurance every year. Are people buying life insurance? No, they're buying peace of mind. They're buying what I like to call certainty in an uncertain world. That's what they're buying. Oddly enough, the bigger the premiums are, the bigger the cases are. Most of the clients that we have don't even know who the company is. They don't even care. They just want the peace of mind knowing that it's gonna that their need is fulfilled. They got a problem, and they know that problem is going to get solved. Paul noticed this guy had a dating problem. He had a self-confidence problem. He had a problem of feeling like he didn't fit in and was going to be too awkward. It's going to be very, very, very interesting to see how this guy works out if he's making the commitment to Paul. Paul's a great guy, and Paul is going to push this guy to the limit to get this guy in shape and work on his confidence. I just hope the guy listens to Paul, because it'll be a great end of the story. So I'll have to keep you updated on how my friend at the gym is doing. But you solve a problem, you offer a solution. It's just like when you're networking. I go to networking events all the time. And particularly when my wife started getting involved in lots of networking, I started going to those too. And the funny thing is that when you walk up to someone and you ask them what they do, they tell you what their job is. And I'm here to tell you, I could care less what somebody's job is. Nobody could care less what your job is. What they really want to know is what it is that you're going to do for them. What kind of problems do you solve? Now, I own a big life insurance brokerage company. My wife owns a medical spa. Do I tell people I sell life insurance? No, I do not. Because that's not what I do. My agents sell life insurance. I work with my people to make sure that they make a shitload of money. That's what I do. When people ask me, what do you do? I said, I work with salespeople to help them make a shitload of money. That's exactly what I do. And when I tell them that, I have their undivided attention. One of the things my wife does, she does this non-surgical hair restoration, and it works for most people. Worked some for me. I had some cancer issues a few years ago, so I couldn't go through the whole gambit of it. But it really, really, really has helped a lot of people, a lot of men and women, to regrow their hair. But when people come into the clinic, she'll ask them, why is this important to you? Especially if she's getting a guy in there who's in his late 40s, early 50s, going bald, just went through a divorce. He's ready to throw himself out in the dating pool again. She'll ask him these questions. And at the end of the day, she doesn't talk about growing their hair back. She talks about them restoring their confidence. She talks to these 50-year-old guys about giving them the confidence to go and date these 25-year-old girls that they're dreaming about dating. Whatever it takes, because that's the problem they want solved. She's just there to facilitate solving the problem. The same thing with the people that come and work with us in our insurance business. People approach me not to buy insurance. The salespeople that approach me want to know, what am I going to do for them to help them make a shit ton of money? And I tell them pretty much the same thing that Paul told the guy at the gym. You make a commitment to yourself and you do what I tell you to do. And I won't guarantee that you'll make millions of dollars, but I do guarantee that you'll come a lot closer to making millions of dollars than you are right now. So solve problems, talk to people about the problems that you solve, talk to them about the things that you do, and visualize on scratching whatever itch that it has, that they have. If they have an itch, you're there to scratch it. If they have a need, you're there to fulfill it. If they have a problem, you're there to solve it. We'll talk soon again about more sales tactics, how to approach people, how to negotiate with people. You make the commitment to watch my podcast every week, and I guarantee you're going to get value out of it, and you will make more money. Will you make a shitload of money? It's up to you. Have a good one.